Hello guys, I'm Sudarshan Koirala and welcome back to Data Science Basics. In this video, let's talk about Omnigent. You can see I am opening this Omnigent releases because there are so many releases happening in this Omnigent project. I have created a full version of the video before 1 hour. I highly recommend if you are new to Omnigent, watch this video so that you get the overall picture what Omnigent is all about. In this video, as there are many updates happening once I create the video, I will highlight to you the main features or functionalities of Omnigent so that you get to know what Omnigent is all about. First thing first, what is Omnigent, right? As it is mentioned here, it is a meta harness for AI agents and a common layer over Claude Code, Codex, PII, and the agents you write yourself, right? The main idea is, let's say if you are using Claude Code, they have their own features and functionalities. You use Codex, they have their own. You fire up those different coding agents, but the underlying things are different in different AI coding agents, right? The main idea of Omnigent is that, let's say, if you are running the project with Claude Code, and at some point you thought that, okay, maybe Codex might perform better in your task, or maybe you hit the token limit. You can quickly switch or combine the harnesses without rewriting so that you can keep the policies and all those things intact in different AI coding agents, right? It's really easy how you can switch between these harnesses. And also the main idea here is the policies and the guardrails, the schedule task and so on, right? I will walk you through that. But on a higher level, as it is mentioned here also, the overall picture is that it's a common layer over different AI coding agents you write or you write yourself. Swap or combine the harnesses without rewriting, keep them in check with policies and sandboxing, and collaborate in real time on the same live session from any devices, right? You can just install it with this command. You can see there are different ways you can install it also. I'm not going to provide you that part because I have already done that. But the next what I want to show you is now the next functionalities of Omnigent. And now that is the Slack functionality, because what they are introducing is that before there was this terminal, web UI, mobile, desktop app, and so on, and now they also have this Slack. The Omnigent Slack integration lets your team talk to agents directly from the Slack. I'm not going to show you the integrated version of it. If you are using Slack, you can follow this documentation, but now that is also possible as part of this new update. If you want to see the different functionalities that were added in different releases, you can go to this releases tab here and click in on one of those, and you can see all the different releases. Now let's fire up the Omni. Let's say that you have already installed, and once you install, there are two agents already being provided, a Strader agent by Databricks, because this is from Databricks. Let me also address one more thing before I fire up, because there is this two concept. One is the managed Omnigent, and next one is the open source Omnigent. As it is from Databricks, there is also Omnigent already integrated in the Databricks environment. That is the managed one. Under the hood, there is this Unity catalog and so on. All the governance part is taken care. And the open source is the one that you can download it locally and use it in your enterprise or personal uses. I have created a folder called Omnigent follow-up here, and I will just now fire up this Omni. If I fire up this Omni, what will happen under the hood? In the terminal itself, it will start this poly. Now you can see the new UI. This is how the UI looks like. On the right side, you will see all the files that are in that particular folder. And on the left side, you can see there are different sessions that I have gone through before. And on the middle section here, you can see this is where you interact with the Omnigent. And here you can see there is already this poly being selected. And I'm not going to go through it, but this is kind of orchestrator where you can ask the question and it asks the same question to multiple hard or the AI coding agents and you get the answer. Just to show you how it works, you can see I have some of the files here, Meridian support tickets.csv. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to ask a question. Let me copy the question here and I will just paste it here because I have already integrated the Claude Code and the Codex when I did the setup. Now I'm asking here, look at this CSV file and tell me which region has the slowest average response time. Have a second agent double check your numbers before it. You can see now it's thinking for 2.6 seconds and so on. It will go through it. But I can see from this agent tab here, besides this folder, working folder, this is the poly. And then once it kicks in these different harnesses, we can see which harness is working at the moment. Now it's still poly here, but inside the poly you will see the two harnesses once it starts spinning up those. Now you can see it is saying that okay, I need to go through this command line. Okay, it's saying okay, I need to do this. Okay, now waiting for the output. It's already running for 1 minute, and you can see if you scroll a little bit down here, it is running under the hood, right? And you can even go here and click these lineage things, so it will show you here. I don't want this now, so I can click on this agent section here. It's still pondering, meaning it is doing under the hood the task that I provided. But when this is doing the thing, I want to show you one additional functionality of the Omnigent, and that is this projects thing on the left side. You can pin the things, but this projects came a little later, where you can group different sessions. You can see I have many sessions here, but I have created one project called Omnigent YT, where I can group my sessions. I can just go through that and find all the relevant sessions from that particular project. Now you can see here it says now I have data, found it. Let me read the file and dispatch two independent agents to analyze it simultaneously. Now what it does, it understands the project, it knows what it needs to do, and now it says got the data, dispatching to independent agents, right? Now we should see here the two independent agents that the poly dispatches. Is still doing the thing here, but when you can see here it says now the agent, and now there is the new agent showing here, analyze the region response time. So it failed for some reason. It will just analyze it itself and do the thing for us. When this is doing the thing, I want to show you one additional functionality. If I go to the settings, this is the settings tab here. From here you can see there is this policies here, and I have already included one policy here called deny the PII in LLM request. This is needed because this is kind of a guardrail. It scans your messages and LLM request prompts for PII, SSN, credit card, whatever you want. So you can uncheck from here, you can check from here. It checks all those things for you. I can add more policies here, and you can see there are different policies. I can even go here and say required approval for file and shell operations, block specific skills, enforce sandbox, deny this is already in place, and there is the session cost budget, per user daily cost budget, and so on. These kind of things are needed if you are using this in a bigger scale in your organization, right? So you can see there are different ways how you can go through it. But one which I find really interesting one is block dangerous shell commands. With this one, you can just go here and say, okay, allow safe shell commands, applies a configurable ask or deny action. And you can see here it says always denies the catastrophic commands such as the force push or RMRF. So if you want to use this, then what you can do is you can just go here and add this and it will be added here. This is the way how you can add the global policies. Just to show you how the PII detection works, right? I have a prompt here and you can see I have this logs sample.txt file where I have some of these PII files. You can see here there is this email, phone, and there is also this customer contact information, right? If I just ask that question in poly, or I can switch the model, or I can do this fork from here and I can switch the model. For example, I want to go to Claude Code and I can just say clone and start, right? That's it. And now from the poly, what happens now is I'm just going to that particular model. Let me just make this little bit bigger. I can even close this. It's not needed. I can just go here and ask summarize what's in the log, right? If I ask this, now you can see that the model that I'm using here is, if you hover on these settings, there is this Claude and the default. But if you even click this one, you can see that the model is the underlying is the default, effort is default. You can just go here and switch between different models which you want, and also the effort you can just choose whatever you want to do. This is how quickly also you can choose from different harnesses and so on. Now what it is going to do is, let's see what it does, right? Because I have this policy already being triggered globally. What it does here is, here I'm saying summarize what's in this and message to customer say, okay, before going further, the log file contains a note at the 12 starting names, email, phone number, and it created specifically to trigger a PII in LLM policy. I will flag that clearly and work only for the event data, not the personal identifiers. You can see that with the PII, this is what we get, right? Now what I can do is I can go back to the Omnigent here. Now you can see there is already the answer for us, and you can see one is the Codex agent and the next one is the open code. It even went to the open code because I have configured in such a way that I have open code, I have the Codex, I have the Claude Code, and so on. And here it took the Python script and the manual row by row instructions, and it says here analyze region response. The first time it failed and it again does the thing, and next is the verify region response time and so on. You can see it fires off the two different agents to get me that answer. Another one which I want to also show you is the automation tab here. You can see here is the automation. With the automation, you can just run the agent sessions on a recurring schedule. I think this is also a really good way of using this Omnigent, because you might need to do something in the scheduled way. Right, here is the news digest, there is the follow-up, monitor, PR, sweep, whatever you want to do. But here there is the new task. You can just create the automation here. That is one additional functionality provided by the Omnigent, right? And one additional thing what I want to show you is, many people find that, okay, I want to use this in the enterprise, but maybe Omnigent takes some data from my organization, right? What you can do here is you can go into the search bar here and just search for telemetry. Here is the usage telemetry. Starting the version v0.6, the Omnigent server collects a small amount of anonymous usage data. What you can turn off is any of the following you want. You can see here, you can just say Omnigent analytics equals to 0, or do not track equals to 1, or you can just say telemetry false in the config file. This is really good because there is the telemetry to improve Omnigent, but then you can just turn this off, so that although it says here that it does not collect your personal data, prompts, message, content, tool, arguments, file contents, or credentials, if you want to turn this off, then you can still turn this off. This is additional thing, right? If I go to the terminal here, you can see it is syncing that I was showing you, right? But I highly suggest you to check with this help command, because there are many commands that are being introduced. And the one that I like the most is this uses one that they introduced. If I just go here and say Omni uses, you can see the uses for different session IDs. Here you can see in some of the sessions I spent almost $20. In some of those is 10, 1, 0, 0, something like this. With this way, you see how much you have already spent, so that you can track all the things as you go. This is all I wanted to show you in this video. I hope now you get the overall understanding of what different things is possible in Omnigent. So yeah, that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.